matière de commerce international, ce gouvernement manque de jugement, particulièrement quand ça vient à sa nouvelle taxe de 350.
Especially concerning its new $350 million.
Sorry, the translation wasn't working, but it is now. The honourable member for Papineau.
En matière de commerce international.
In terms of international trade, this government lacks judgment, especially concerning its new $350 million tax on the middle class. Doesn't the government understand that increasing prices on hundreds of basic products represents a heavy burden for all Canadians who are suffering? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I would like to begin by congratulating the new Liberal Party leader for his election. Mr. Speaker, this government reduced customs tariffs for Canadians by more than $500 million per year, and that is just one of our tax reductions to help Canadians. And, Mr. Speaker, it is the Liberal Party who voted against all of these tax cut measures for Canadian families. Mr. Speaker, because of these new tariffs on imports, middle-class Canadians will have to pay more to buy tricycles, educational materials, and clothing for their young children. How can the government justify this new wrong-headed tax on millions of Canadians who have trouble making ends meet? Right Honourable Prime Minister. First, Mr. Speaker, this government reduced the customs tariffs on Canadians by an enormous amount. And at the same time, Mr. Speaker, we do not feel that it is right or fair that firms in emerging countries, such as China, should obtain special cuts on the backs of Canadian taxpayers.
According to Collins English Dictionary, and I quote, "A tariff is a tax levied by a government on imports." So the Prime Minister can couch this in any terms he likes, but the facts are, when middle-class Canadians go into a store to buy a tricycle, to buy school supplies, to buy a little red wagon for their kids, they will pay more because of a tax in this government's budget. So now that the PM knows what's in his budget, will he show good judgment, admit it's a tax, and repeal this tax on middle-class Canadians?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned, this government has made enormous reductions in tariffs and customs duties, and of course in taxes generally, including sales taxes for the Canadian people. Mr. Speaker, every time we've done that, the Liberal Party has voted against those reductions. What the Liberal Party seems to stand for, Mr. Speaker, is that somehow we should give special tax breaks to emerging economies like China. We think that is inappropriate. That's why we'll make sure there is fair taxation for all companies and lower taxes for Canadians.